Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hammer Podcast. Today is July 1st, 2025. I hope everybody has a safe and happy 4th of July. Today we have Jamie on the podcast. She's going to be talking about her time at the farm or the Roloff Church. People's Baptist Church, right? Yes, People's Baptist Church. That's what it was called. All right, Jamie. Oh, by the way, you were a Honeybee, correct?
I was.
All right. So go ahead and start from the beginning. Let us know why you went there.
I was 15 and on drugs, skipping school, doing bad, and my mother was divorced and she had already tried everything she could do. So my Aunt Catherine had told her about Lester Roloff, and so she sent me to Rebekah.
Okay.
There. And I was in shock when I first got there. They took away my rock and roll music and my blue jeans.
What year was this, Jamie?
77 to 80.
Okay. Go ahead.
And so I was in there. Now, I can go ahead and tell you, I'm not going to say I loved it because, you just couldn't do what you wanted to do or what you were used to do. You had to mind somebody.
Sure.
But it did me good. And actually, I would have to thank God for my Aunt Catherine telling my mom about it because I believe had I not gone there, I'd probably been dead. I mean, I was definitely headed down the wrong path. Anyway, I got to Rebekah and I became a helper, which, you just have to do good. And if you did good deeds, they, gave you good things. They let you do more things. I got to go to the mall shopping. I dated one of the Steve Patrick, one of the Rainbow Quartet.
Oh, the Anchor Home or the Lighthouse?
I don't think any of them were in the home. I think they all were boys that lived on the farm.
Yes, I remember that. I remember those guys.
Yeah. And he asked Miss Cameron, could he see me, sit with me in church and whatnot, and she allowed it.
Really?
Yeah.
I
mean, I got in trouble one time there. I talked back to Miss Cameron and she slapped me, but I deserved it. I mean, I didn't like it at the time, but I deserved it. I sure did. But now I never got put up in any of those rooms. And they wasn't a bad place. It was a bedroom with 4 walls and a bathroom. Got 3 good meals a day with the King James Version Bible. And if you were bad, that's what you got.
With Roloff playing in the background on the speaker.
Well, I tell you what, I made sure I didn't get in there. So it was what you made it. I mean, if you want to go in there and be bad and ugly and disobey and make your life a living hell, then make your life even worse than it was, then you can.
Right.
I made the best of it. And God knows I miss the food.
Well, I tell you, like I've been telling everybody that went to the farm, every Wednesday we would go to the Come and Dine. Uh-oh. You still there, Jamie? I think her okay. Yeah, we used to go. I'd go to the Come and Dine, and we'd eat lima beans. Big old bowl of it. Let me see if I can get her back here. Oh, she came out. Okay, she's probably coming back in. All right. Ah, there she is. Okay.
Sorry about that. My phone rung.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, I would go to the Come and Dine we'd go on Wednesdays because I was at the school behind the Rebekah home, and they gave us a big old bowl of lima beans. Man, I hated that stuff. Oh, but now I've grown to love it. I eat lima beans any chance I get,
Yes, yes.
and Brussels
Vegetables
sprouts.
and fruit. Yes, yes, yes. But they fed us well. And then on Sundays we had all the fruit we could eat, and they had different types, grapefruit, oranges, and all
Uh-huh.
different kinds of fruits, and we would tear it up too.
Yeah.
Um, but they fed us healthy stuff. I know I put on some weight when I was in there. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I become a honeybee, and I traveled with Lester Roloff. Traveled all over. And I also traveled with the choir in the summertime.
Okay.
And I look back today, and I have seen so much of the United States that I would have never seen, and met so many kind people. Um,
Did you ever meet Wiley Cameron?
yes, that was Brother Cameron, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah, he was our dorm dad,
Was he
I
a
guess.
nice guy too?
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. There was no sexual stuff going on. I mean, I was a helper. I walked the halls at night, checked every bedroom, every bed. I just never saw no wrong going on.
Jamie,
Um,
you're getting a funny noise on your audio. Um, why don't you try and hang up and then try it again, because you're getting a really funny, weird.
it could have been me pounding this pen.
No,
You
it's not
hear it
that.
now? Okay. So
Okay,
what do you want me to do?
yeah, just hang get off the line and then come back on. Just reset it.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, we're having a little technical difficulties here. That's okay. So get her back on here. I want to make sure that she's got a clear audio for all this. All right, let's try that.
Sorry, we're having so much trouble.
Still doing it, but we'll just keep going. Go ahead.
Okay. Where was I?
You were talking
Oh,
about.
yeah, there was no sex or nothing that. Anyway, I left Rebekah, and it wasn't, when I left Rebekah, I had turned 18, and I lived on the farm. I didn't even leave. I stayed with the Stevers.
Oh, the
Um,
Stevers. Okay,
uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
remember
You
them.
remember Tina and Lynn?
Yep. I think
I stayed with them.
The Stevers kids went to the school I went to.
I stayed with them for, uh, probably a couple of years. And then I left there, and that's when I just left altogether.
So you were there for 3 years, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And then I came to Alabama and found the same school.
Okay. See, we seem to. Oh, there we go.
Came to the same school that they had at Rebekah,
Uh huh.
and graduated here. But
Did they allow you to transfer your credits over?
yes, yes,
Okay.
because I went to the same school here in Alabama, and they accepted those credits.
Oh, was it a Christian school or was it just your public?
Yes, yes,
Okay. All right.
yes.
That's why. Because
And they supported Lester Roloff.
okay.
Yeah,
Because sometimes um, the credits wouldn't transfer to a public school.
right, right. It was a private school.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
All
in a
right.
church.
Oh, okay.
And I
church.
never knew when I was playing volleyball in the back of that church that I'd be living in the house behind it. And I do.
Oh, you still do?
Yeah, we've lived here 27 years. And I
Okay.
live right behind the church where I graduated high school.
Huh. Well, that's neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Last time I went there in '82,
Oh, okay.
and I stayed. I was in fourth grade because I because Lester Roloff also had an elementary school, like a pre-K elementary school,
Right.
in Corpus Christi itself. They
Yeah,
had
I heard y'all talking about that, and
right.
I really did not know about that.
Yeah, it was Park Avenue Christian School, and it was ran by a lady named Mrs. Copeland. Do you remember Mrs.
Okay.
Copeland?
What tall lady with
Like a
gray?
bouffant, like a
Yes,
bouffant,
yes, yes,
sweetest old lady you could ever meet.
yes, yes. I agree 100%,
Wow, she was so nice.
100%.
She,
But I have carried on Rebecca to this very day.
uh huh.
Um, in my life, I love the Lord. Um, we go to church. After years of me going to church by myself, I finally got my husband to go, and now he's teaching.
Oh, okay. Is it
So
is it a Baptist church?
yes, it's First Baptist downtown Montgomery,
Oh,
Alabama.
okay.
Mhm, mhm. But I just had one of the girls, Judy. Um, Fane was her last name, Fane. She was in there with me, and she lives in outside of Dallas right now. And she had come last week and spent the week with me.
Oh,
So I still keep up with several of them. Um, and then I went and seen her last summer. But there's about five of us that still stay in touch and see each other as much as we can.
oh. Yes, I remember you when you texted me, you were saying that you were on the road. So you just
We had gone to the beach.
oh,
We had gone to Pensacola, Florida.
oh.
Hmm.
That's not a that's not too far away.
No, no, it's
So
about 3 hours, I guess.
so I tell everybody, you know what I miss about Texas? I went to Florida too. I was in Destin, Florida for a while. Um and
Beautiful.
yes, the Emerald Beach that's there.
Yeah, white sand.
Yeah, with green water, kind of emerald green water. You can see all the way to the
Yes,
bottom. It was
yes.
beautiful. But one thing I miss about the South, because I'm up in Wisconsin now.
Oh, okay. Bless your heart.
Green Bay, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Um, I miss Whataburger. That's what I miss so
Oh,
much.
we don't have them here, but they were down at the beach. They
Yes.
were.
Yep, they have them
And
in
they're in Texas, too.
yes. Well, they're originally from Texas, but when I went to Destin, Florida, my boss, I was working at the time, he said, "Where do you guys want to eat?" And we were on the freeway, and all of a sudden we saw the big orange W. It's like right there. We want to eat right there. So that's the only thing I miss about Texas is the Whataburger.
Yeah. When they drove, her and her husband, and she's doing great. Judy went and got her master's, and she works for the college. Um, what is it, A&M or A&?
Oh, Texas A&M.
Yeah, she works for the college up there, and so she's doing great. I stayed with her. She had bought a like a 1930, 1940 house,
Oh,
and she gutted it, and it's just beautiful.
well, that's good. A little renovating. Nice.
Yes, yes, yes. And then there's another girl, Robin Dole. Um, I don't, I hadn't visited her or seen her, but I talked to her on Messenger and Facebook a good bit, and I think she married a pilot, but she seems to be doing very, very good.
I never really talked to the Rebekah girls, even though they were right there, because their school was, that school in the back was 2 stories.
Yes.
So they had the elementary school on the bottom, and then they had the Rebekah girls school up on
Right.
top.
Right. I
So
used to look out that window and think, how can I get out of here?
I think every girl there probably at one time or another probably
even even though it was, not a bad place, but you can't go anywhere.
yeah.
We were used to go, 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 go.
Well, Jamie, some people, like you were saying on your text, is some people have had good experiences like you did, and some people had bad experiences. I mean,
It's
like you,
what they made it.
right? It's what they made it.
Absolutely, it is. It's
So
how they acted, how they behaved. They're everything about it.
you know, and there and we would. My dad was a prolific Roloffite, I should say, and we went to church there Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday. We went there all the time, and he Lester Roloff, even Wiley Cameron when he preached a couple of times when Roloff was out in his plane.
He was just as good.
Yeah, he would say, "Don't ever talk about your sin." You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
You put it under the blood. You leave it alone.
You're done. That's
You're
right.
done.
That's it.
So,
You're
but
not supposed to go back to it because he has cleansed you from all your sins.
correct.
Um, and I agree with that. And you don't need to keep looking back on it because you're going forward in life. I am anyway.
Do you
Um,
do you think that some of those girls, when it came to being saying that they were saved, do you think they were just saying that just to make life easier for themselves?
I don't
There,
know. I don't know. That's only they know that. I don't know. I know mine was real. And one girl was talking about Bible memorization and it being uh, something to do with your mind, for mind control or something like that. I enjoyed it. Um, it wasn't no different than having to memorize lines for a movie, and that's not abuse. We just did Bible memorization. We just knew on Saturday that's what we did, and I learned all of them.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
know. Some people, everybody's different. And when I listen to some of the girls, it just breaks my heart because it's not the same thing I went through there. And none of the girls that I talk to this very day, they didn't go through that. Um, and I was telling them about this podcast, so they'll be checking it out.
that's well. Thank you for that. I tell whenever a girl comes on from the Rebecca home or any home roll off home, whether it's Bethesda or any of the other ones,
Right.
I want to hear your side. If it's negative, it's negative. If it's positive, it's positive. I want to put both sides out there.
Well, we traveled with the choir and they put us in, people from the church, their homes at night, and then we would leave the next day. And I saw so much beautiful land. We went to Colorado, Denver, Durango, Colorado Springs, Idaho, Wyoming. I flew with Lester Roloff to Birmingham, Alabama from Corpus Christi, and we sung at the Birmingham Civic Center. I mean, I am very, very fortunate to be able, because I would have never seen all that, you know, and
Right.
just to see and meet all these different good people. You just had to, I don't know, I just soaked it in like a sponge. It was a blessing, and I was glad I was able to do it. And I remember the hurricanes and we had to leave and go to San Antonio, and they just took care of us. They made
Yeah.
sure we got food. We had a good place to sleep. I was there when we had to leave and go to Macon, Georgia. Um,
there, they do ingrain a lot of stuff into your head. Like I said, with the memorizing, you know what I mean?
it's
And
good that you can memorize the Bible. I
yes,
wish I could remember. I'm getting old now. I'm fixing to be 64, but back in the day, I wish I could remember. I try to. I can't even remember some of them right now. But
well,
I wish I could memorize more of the Bible and know more of it. And I wished I had listened more in the Bible class than what I did.
you go to church, so you're still getting the teaching.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But we talk about in Sunday school. I'm like, I didn't know that, and it had to have been because I wasn't paying attention. Because when Judy was here for that 6 day, she even was talking about things, and I'm like, girl, we went to the same school.
I
How come
do,
you know this and I don't? She was
right.
like, you got to
I
listen.
I do remember certain songs that they would always do. Um, like the Rebekah girls would always sing, and this song always sticks in my head. I don't know why, but it was the Camel Train. Remember that song, the Camel Train?
No, you'll have to sing.
No.
Go ahead, sing me a little bit of it.
Oh, get ready, the evening child's come. Don't you hear the Eliezer call? Remember that song? There's
Yes,
going
yeah,
to be a wedding. The troubles. Yeah,
uh-huh,
that
uh-huh.
sticks in my head. Of course, the Roloff theme song, living
I
by
just,
faith.
yeah, living by faith and
Yes,
trust.
and the song that they would give the benediction, uh,
Yes.
just as I am. They would play it all the time. So, and like I said, all that just and sometimes um, Bible verses. Psalm 121, and I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from which cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord. I remember all that stuff. It's ingrained. It's etched in the
Yes,
memory. You know what I mean?
yes, yes.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Right.
Um, but it's just those little bits of history. That you're glad that you remember. You know.
Yeah, I do. And I still watch. Like just the other day, I was That's how I came across you. I was watching some of Brother Roloff's sermons, and then I got to looking. Well, let me see. I see all the other honeybees, but I don't see. I've never seen us,
Right.
and I don't know. The older honeybees that were way before me, and um, anyway,
Were you an alto or were you a tenor?
soprano.
Soprano. You got the high parts.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
we
that's
just
good.
got a thunderstorm warning.
Oh, so tell me about the day that you heard that Lester Roloff and the other girls,
The honeybees.
they were the Honeybees. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if he had another quartet or anything. Um, but the Honeybee,
Oh, it
yeah.
was awful. I just couldn't believe it. But you know what? The times that I did travel with him,
Uh huh.
he would put it on autopilot and go to sleep.
Oh my goodness. that's
And
that's
then we would practice in the back.
that's why they have co-pilots for that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But he always
No,
flew.
it was just him and us.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I actually went
And it
to
made me wonder if that's not what he did that day.
possibly.
Yeah.
Um, we'll never know, but it's possible. I mean, or either that or some kind of mechanical error.
Right, right.
So,
There's no telling, but I can tell you this. He's up there with Jesus right now, happy as he can be. And his wife.
did she pass?
I think so. I think she passed a
Because
while back.
I never saw her.
I never saw her either. But now I think my friend Judy did. But I
She,
never seen her neither.
I know she was always in the house, but when it came to church, she was never there.
Uh-uh.
So I don't know what the story was behind that, but
The story that was she is real sick.
oh, okay, she was sick.
Um, yeah,
Uh,
but she was sick for the whole 3 years I was there.
Huh. Did you ever figure out what? Did they ever figure out what it was?
Uh-uh.
No.
I just said she was a sickly woman's what I thought.
Oh,
But I really didn't know the truth behind that.
yeah. Huh. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I know I got a chance to meet him one time,
Uh-huh.
and if it wasn't, a conversation, it was mainly just, how you doing, brother? I'm doing great. Shook hands. And that was it.
Yeah, he wasn't
No.
a very conversated person. When we would get on the airplane, he would, we would pray. We would do some little bit of scripture. And like I say, he would fly for a while and then put it on autopilot. And then we would practice in the back.
Yeah.
So, but he wasn't much conversation.
I went to his funeral.
Oh,
He had the
was there a lot
funeral.
of people there?
Yeah, he had the funeral at the Memorial Coliseum, and I get they buried him in Memory Gardens across the street from the church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his grave is there. But yeah, the place was packed.
I bet.
They even had that one Marine with the eye patch.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was there. Wiley Cameron was there. A couple of other pastors from other churches were there.
yeah.
So, and of course, I was 10. I really wasn't paying attention.
Right, right.
You know,
Sherry Compton, do you remember? She was I think brother and Miss Cameron adopted her, and she was living with them in the dorm.
Hmm, don't
She,
remember.
I think, was a pro golfer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
No, I like I said, I never really interacted with the Rebekah girls. They always basically kept them to the whenever we would be playing outside,
right,
they would wait till we walked inside. As soon as we walked inside, they would come out of the back of the home and go up the steps into the
yeah,
and whenever it came to eating, they would eat first, and then when they got back up to their school, then we would come out to eat. We were
right.
we never engaged. So
Well, that Steve Patrick's and that Rainbow Quartet asked Miss brother and Miss Cameron if he could sit with me in church, and we held hands, and
do
they
you,
let us.
do you ever stay in touch with him?
No, I've not seen
No?
him since the day I left.
Well,
Uh, I need to try to look him up.
he might be on Facebook maybe.
Maybe.
So
I just keep up with some of the girls that I was close to there. I keep up with my roommate. Her name was Lisa Goodwin. I keep up with her.
does your little group have a Facebook group that you
No,
stay in
we
touch?
just all keep in touch individually.
Okay.
Hmm.
Did you ever run into any girls from like the Bethesda home or
No.
no
Uh-uh.
or Jubilee?
Uh-uh.
No.
Uh-uh. No. Stayed on my grounds.
Mm. I know some girls that went there we came on this podcast. They were talking about how some of the girls, because the girls from Bethesda, that was for pregnant women or pregnant girls,
Oh, okay.
and some of them would go down to Rebekah for a couple of days and then go back. So
Oh,
I don't know if they lived down there and they had parents there. I don't know, but
right.
but it was very isolated because I lived in the city and the bus would go and pick up all the kids from the city and then bring them back.
Right.
But it was way out on the farm road. I mean,
Uh-huh.
miles and miles from from the city.
Right.
I just don't understand why they do that. Is it because, in case they escape, they don't,
That's what I'm thinking, because, she'd get on the intercom, Miss Cameron, and say, "You can run from us, but you can't run from God." And they'd get caught every time.
Right.
I wasn't about to. I'd think about it, but that's as far as it went.
Yeah, because all it is just brush and dirt, and there's nothing else around,
It's
and
so ugly out there.
yeah, and you get lost. So
Ugly.
yeah.
I just wanted to be back in Alabama is all that was.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I went down to Corpus in 2020 because my mother passed. I went to go to the funeral, and Corpus is just not look the same.
It's going downhill.
It's going way downhill.
Is it a Democratic mayor? Governor?
I don't know. No, the governor is Republican.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
Oh,
about
yeah, I know the governor. Yeah.
right. But I don't know about the mayor. But the thing with Corpus,
Same here.
right? The
Run
thing about
down.
the thing about Corpus is it's surrounded. You have the Gulf of America on one side, right? Then you
Yeah.
have the city, and then you have on the other side you have farmland. So the city cannot expand out. It can only expand from inward. So it just
Right.
keeps growing and growing inward, and it just starts getting crowded. And I went down my old stomping grounds when I was there, and there was grass as tall as me, trash all over the place.
Same here.
It was
Same here.
just a slum.
Same here. It just gets worse and worse by the year.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know. We can have beautiful cities. I just don't understand it. I
Yeah.
really don't. And we pay taxes we pay road tax, but they don't pay the roads. We pay car tax. We have to every year get that tag, and then we pull up at our property that we pay tax on,
Yep. And the roads still look
and
terrible.
then it's just awful. I mean, so where is the money going that I pay road tax on every time I pump gas? Where is that money going?
Right in their pockets.
Right. I'm just tired of being taxed.
I remember, that I don't know what the farm is, what it looks like now. I know that I've been keeping up with it a little bit. And do you remember back in the day for the girls, dresses only,
Yes, definitely.
or if you're going out to exercise, it was those ugly,
Gauchos.
god awful culottes.
Oh, they were terrible. That's what we had to swim in.
Yeah.
We had to swim in those. And a Rebekah t-shirt.
And a Rebekah t-shirt.
Yes.
Wow. Well,
It was
now,
light red, trimmed in dark red collar and trimmed in dark red short sleeves. And we wore it with those little light red gauchos.
yep. And sandals. You have to wear sandals.
Yes.
Couldn't wear high heels.
No.
Nope.
Might stab somebody.
Or vanity. They could call it vanity.
Yeah.
But now,
And they taught us, to keep your room clean every day. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you shower at night, I mean, stuff that some of them girls did not do. So, I don't know what they did in their life when they left there, but they were taught right, Rebekah.
sewing. I remember they had sewing classes.
Yeah, sewing, typing, the
Ty-
Bible.
Typing. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I looked at the Facebook page for the People's Baptist Church. All the pictures that they show, it's probably 10 people in there in that big auditorium.
Oh.
It's really gone downhill. Plus, they had a group picture, and half of the girls were wearing blue jeans.
Really?
So I guess the dress code is out.
They don't wear them at my church, but now in
No,
some churches they do. And I really don't care. I just want you to come to church.
right, right.
Just as long as it's not, showing your breast or your hiney or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back then it was, there was a strict dress code.
Very much
The,
so,
the
yes.
men had to wear the blue shirts or the white shirts with the tie that had the American flags on it.
Right.
Plus, blue. We used to get Dickies, or we would get slacks or something like that.
Right, right.
So it was a strict dress code. Now it's not anymore. Plus, I don't think the lighthouse or the anchor home is there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's there, the City of Refuge is gone. So the only thing that's there now is the Jubilee.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing that's there. And the Jubilee is not just for women anymore.
It's for men and women.
Men and women, but they separate them. But now they don't deal with kids anymore. And they give you an application because it's basically a voluntary thing. If you want to come in, they'll let you in. And you have to have, you get not commissary, but you get like a little account that your friends or your family can put money in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But the kicker is, if you have to be there for a year. That's the contract. You have to be there for a year. If you decide to leave before that year is up, let's say you had $600 in that account, you lose that money.
Wow.
They call it a love gift.
Oh, wow.
So, but they've been selling parts of the farm off because they just can't keep up with it financially.
Yeah.
It's just a shell. Not like it used to be.
I bet. I bet it's totally different.
Yep. So, I mean, I've seen pictures online, of the homes and everything.
Right.
The homes are still there.
Are people still living there?
I don't know. I know the Rebekah building, the Jubilee, and the City of Refuge buildings are still there.
Okay.
The anchor and the lighthouse, where they used to be, they're just little trailers now. So I don't know if people are just living in trailers or they just got rid of them altogether. I don't know. Because I remember they used to be a big house for the anchor and the lighthouse.
Okay.
So, but the Regeneration Reservation is in Arizona. So,
wow.
Yep. So it's.
I wonder if the Camerons are. I'm sure they're gone.
Wiley Cameron has passed.
Yeah, he was old then to me.
he died a very violent death.
He did?
Yes.
What
you didn't hear?
No.
This was probably 2003 or 2002. He was welding, and the welder arced against his wedding ring and set him on fire.
No.
He was burned on 85% of his body.
Oh my God.
The thing was, he would not take morphine. They wanted to give him morphine in the hospital, but he refused. So
my goodness.
He stayed. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and they finally had to pull the plug.
My goodness, yes. I did not know that. Yep. That is terrible.
And Faye Cameron, I have no idea where I know they're from Georgia.
Right.
So I don't know if she went, because she wasn't allowed to teach in Texas anymore.
Okay.
Because of all these abuse allegations that were on her. So.
Oh, she had abuse allegations on her?
Yeah.
When she was at Rebekah or when she left?
No, this was at Rebekah.
Yeah.
Rebekah closed, and then Rebekah reopened, and then closed, and then reopened it many times. One girl, according to her, said that she got roughed up pretty good, and she got some of her ribs broken. And basically,
That little bitty woman did that.
her and another girl, yeah.
Well,
But that's what I've heard.
I talked back to her one time. She slapped me across the face, and if my mama had done it a lot more, I probably wouldn't have even been there.
But I don't know if she's alive or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
She was always good, that far as I know. Just, I never. She was always good to me, except
well,
for
that's
that
good.
one day. And when that happened, we were at the Macon, Georgia house. They were fixing. They were trying to close us down, so they took us all to Macon, Georgia.
Yeah. Well, because he wouldn't take a license.
Right.
What Roloff failed to realize is that um, his business was a 501c3 business, which is a tax exempt license,
Right.
basically. Well, not license, but it's a tax exempt for your business. But in order to have that tax exempt status, you had to get a license. I don't think he realized that. I don't know if someone just talked him into it, but that's why there was so much trouble
Right.
because he had that tax exempt status.
Right.
So I don't know.
Well, my experience at Rebekah was good. And I hate that some of the girls had bad experiences.
Yeah.
Um,
Like you said, people are different. They experience things differently. Some of them, you don't know what's going on in their heads. You know what I mean?
hmm
Some people want to change. Some people don't.
Right.
Some people
Right.
comply. Some people comply. Some people don't.
Yeah. Some people want to move forward in life, and some just want to just sit there.
Pretty much.
So I decided to move on.
Yeah.
There were several of us that did. So, and there's a good friend of mine in Judy's named Mona Loftus. She's working and living in New York, and she's doing good for herself. And Lisa's doing good. Judy's doing good. Robin's doing good. Um, Kathy Dyson, she was from Georgia. She's doing great. Loves the Lord. And she's moved to South Carolina.
Do you still have the King James Bible that they gave you?
I do, and I have the school annual, but I don't use the King James anymore.
Oh, okay.
I use I can the other one I can understand easier. And what's so funny, it's not funny. What's so weird is I was just watching one of his sermons yesterday, and it was on the King James Version Bible, and not these other Bibles that you can read easily.
Yes, I remember a sermon with him where he said that the new King James Bible
Yes,
was the devil's Bible.
yes. And he was all about that King James, but
Along with that, there are a lot of hypocrisy. I mean, not every nobody's perfect. You know what I mean?
right,
But he Roloff would always talk about the TV stations. He would call them the three sewer lines because ABC, NBC, CBS. That's all they had
about
back
like
then.
Trump.
Yeah, the three sewer lines he would call them. And
And they are.
right after Lester died, not 2 or 3 years later, the People's Baptist Church were on television on the public access channel on the
Really?
TV. And I'm thinking, what happened to the three sewer lines? You know,
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know. We walked in one Sunday and they had a big old camera facing the pulpit, and I'm like, yep, I guess that one's out the window.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you change pastors, you know, other things change.
Right.
So, but he
Well,
was
I miss his preaching. I've never uh heard another preacher like him.
fire and brimstone,
Yes.
fire and brimstone. And he had just a clear voice when he yelled. You know, it was you could hear it, you could understand it.
Right.
Um, wasn't a bad singer. I'll give him that.
He did try his best, didn't
But I
he?
tell you one thing though, Faye Cameron,
Oh, she could sing, honey.
her voice vibrated so badly.
She could sing. You didn't think she could?
No, I mean,
Oh,
she
wow.
had a very high range. I'll give her that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
whenever she would sing and she'd hold out that note, it would be going, oh, it's like she was just vibrating. I'm like, oh my goodness, stop.
Well, the day that Lester Roloff crashed, was there a bad storm?
I don't remember. I'll have to look. I don't think so.
Miss Roloff had crippling arthritis.
Oh,
I'm getting text. I guess
okay.
people are watching. Can you
Yes,
tell?
yes. Um, crippling arthritis. You know, that's another thing. One thing I liked about Lester Roloff was his he loved being healthy. Drink lots
Oh,
of
yeah, and he
water.
wanted us girls to be healthy as
Right.
well.
Lots of water, fruits and vegetables, not too much meat, very little.
Right.
Don't eat too
That
much
homemade
butter.
granola was out of this world.
Yeah. Yeah. So that his way of eating healthy. I mean, he looked really good. What was he, 68 or 69 when he died?
I
He
don't know,
looked
but the bread they made there was so good.
oh yeah. Yeah. And you know, so the lima beans, I eat them now, but not back then. But it was all natural. There
Right.
wasn't any additives. It came right off the farm.
That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's one way. A lot of the girls that were involved in drugs and stuff like that, and drinking, and that healthy food would help, you know, fix the body up quickly.
It does.
You know,
Sure does.
I don't remember if they ever ate eggs or not.
I
They
don't
may
remember
have,
eggs.
because I know they had chickens
I
and
don't remember eggs.
chickens and cows. They didn't have any pig because Roloff didn't like was against
No.
swine. Yeah.
Right.
So
I do remember that granola with the bananas. That was so good.
yep. Well, they used to sometimes Lester Roloff would come over to the school and he'd have a watermelon. He'd slice it up for us and give it to us. So
Yep.
I,
Lots of watermelon,
oh yeah.
oranges, grapefruits.
Yep. Apples.
Yes.
So that was one of his good points. So
He loved helping children. Um, as far as I could see the whole time I was there, that was what he strived for, was helping children and turning people and kids to Christ.
and you know, Jamie, I believe you. And I honestly believe that that was his passion, right? But
Absolutely it was.
my problem is, and it wasn't the Camerons, it was the other people, some of the people that lived on Trailer Row,
Right.
some of the people that came out. You know, maybe he may have picked one that decided to um, backslide. You know what I
Right.
mean?
They were not like us and Rebekah. They were different.
Right. Some of them, and like I said, Lester was busy. He was on his plane going, you know, evangelizing.
Right.
So these people had this place to themselves, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe a lot of bad stuff happened, but probably Lester Roloff never knew about it. Maybe, um, but
That could be a possibility.
right. And I'm not saying Lester Roloff was an evil person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he was a busy man. He may not have. He may not have picked the right people. Some people. I'm sure he picked a lot
Right.
of good people, but not all of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that happens.
It does.
Yeah.
There's always a bad one in the bunch.
Yep. And the problem
All we can
is,
do is pray for them and pray, that they'll get their life right one day and be with Jesus at the end.
and a lot of times, they say the one rotten apple spoils
Spoils
the
the whole
bunch.
bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've you're the first one who's come. No, maybe not the second one who has talked about Rebekah in a positive light. Had one guy come in talking about the lighthouse,
Right.
and it was a great place. He was glad he went, and you wouldn't believe how much hate mail I got from that. I'm like, when I do this podcast, I want to hear the negative and I want to hear the positive. I want to hear the good stories. I want to hear the bad stories. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Let people judge for themselves.
Well, the only bad thing I didn't like there was I couldn't go when I wanted to. I couldn't be free.
Right.
But that's what it was all about. You messed up and now you got to straighten up.
Right.
You brought yourself here. My mama didn't, of course, my mama brought me there, but my mama didn't do bad. I did bad. And, I had a very caring, loving mother that did everything that she could. And she was going to make sure her daughter was going to be somebody one day. And I think that's also a big part of it is having good parents that care, don't ever give up and stand there with you. My mother, she's not here today, but I couldn't have asked for a better, loving, kindest woman in my life. I mean, she was a great mother, and she never gave up on me. So, if you've got good parents that, were really there for you when you growing up, and
Yep.
when you growing up, and you have your kids, and y'all still get together at Christmas and you just got family values and you're in church, your life will grow great.
Oh yeah.
Again, it's just like how we started. It's all on what you make it. You can go make it good or you can make it bad or ugly or whatever you want to make it.
Definitely.
But, it's just like Lester Roloff said, Jesus is the answer. He's the way, the truth, and the light.
Except for
And I
that top.
praise God now at my older age for him, but not when I was there.
And that time when he got mixed up with Big Sandy.
Yeah, yes, yes,
But like I said, everybody makes mistakes. You know what I mean?
yes,
So,
yes.
all right. Well, Jamie, it was lovely to meet you.
It was nice meeting you as well. Thank you for allowing
No,
me to be on this podcast today.
and like I said, I don't judge anybody. I just want to hear what they have to say.
Right,
Get it out. If people want to take it to heart, take it to heart. If you don't want to, that's fine with me.
yes.
You know what I mean? Let
I do.
everybody has their own opinions and their own decisions to make.
Right.
So, but it was wonderful to meet you, and I hope maybe we can do this again.
I do too. Thank you so much and
You,
have a blessed evening.
you could bring one of your friends or something. Come on, if they,
Oh, yeah, I can do that now.
yeah. So, all right.
I'll call a couple of them up and let them give their testimony because they have good ones as well.
Right. I could get as many as 9 people on here.
Oh, that would be wonderful. If I knew that, I would have had them on with me tonight.
Well, just let me know when you
I
want
mean, they're steadily texting me, telling me things to say.
to. So, yes, if you want to come back on, we can make that happen.
Okay, well, thank
All
you,
right.
and you have a blessed evening.
You too.
All
Have a
right,
great.
bye bye.
Bye bye. All right. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank Jamie once again for being on. And like I said, if you have a story about how you were abused there, come on, put it on here. If you want to have a story saying that you had a great time, you were saved, and you live in a Christian life, I'm not going to turn you down. Come on. All right. So I don't have anything else planned. Everybody have a great 4th of July. Have a safe 4th of July. I might come on next week with maybe open lines, maybe. But I'm so busy. I have 2 things going on at one time. But if anybody's watching for Agape or went to Agape, I want to do some sort of reunion. So text me or just email me. Doesn't matter. Let me go ahead and put the number on here so you can see it. Just text that number. Let me know if you want to come on. I normally do these on Monday and Tuesday at 5:00 p.m. Central Time because I'm in the central part of the U.S. So for the Hammer Podcast, I'm Jason. You take care of yourself. You take care of each other. And we'll see you in the next video, all right? Have a safe 4th of July.